Welcome back to Historical Lens. Today we take a journey through history's most haunting and heartbreaking photos, images that capture raw emotions, tragedy, and the resilience of the human spirit. These powerful moments remind us of the past's sorrow and lessons. Stay with us as we uncover the stories behind them. In 1985, Colombian girl Omaira Sanchez was trapped in a volcanic mudflow, submerged up to her waist. Rescuers fought tirelessly to save her, but after 60 agonizing hours of resilience and suffering, she tragically succumbed to her fate, leaving behind a haunting symbol of disaster and human endurance. The piercing, haunted gaze of an 18-year-old Russian girl, just moments after being liberated from Dachau on April 29, 1945. Her eyes tell a story of unimaginable suffering, resilience, and the horrors she endured within the infamous concentration camp, forever etched in history. Taken on December 26, 2004, this powerful image captures tourists desperately fleeing as monstrous tsunami waves surge ashore after the catastrophic Indian Ocean earthquake. The disaster claimed over 220,000 lives, leaving behind unimaginable devastation and one of the deadliest natural tragedies in modern history. This heartbreaking image captures Nadia and Bassem Choucair, trapped in their 22nd floor apartment as Grenfell Tower was engulfed in flames during the tragic 2017 fire. Devastatingly, the couple, their 3 daughters, and Nadia's mother all perished, leaving behind a haunting reminder of one of Britain's deadliest modern disasters. Believed to be the last known photo of Anne Frank, this image captures her with her sister Margot in 1942. Just a few years later, at only 15, Anne tragically died of typhus at the Bergen-Belsen concentration camp, leaving behind a diary that would forever echo her lost dreams. Taken on November 24, 1963, this poignant photograph captures Jackie Kennedy gently kissing John F. Kennedy's casket in the Capitol Rotunda. In this heartbreaking moment, the grief-stricken widow bids farewell to her husband, just 2 days after his tragic assassination shocked the world. These cars, left untouched in the Giant Stadium commuter lot, belonged to victims of the September 11, 2001 attacks. Their owners set out for work that morning, never to return. A haunting reminder of lives lost, the vehicles remain as silent witnesses to that tragic day. This haunting image shows Blanche Monnier moments after her rescue from a dark, filthy room where she had been imprisoned for 25 years. Locked away by her mother for loving a penniless lawyer, Blanche endured decades of unimaginable suffering before authorities finally uncovered her tragic ordeal. A touching moment captured as a law enforcement officer gently distracts a young girl, shielding her from the heartbreaking reality that her father has just lost his life in a car accident. His kindness offers a brief moment of comfort amid the tragedy. This chilling photo captures the harrowing moment Melora Rivera desperately climbed onto her roof to escape a home intruder, only for him to emerge right behind her. Trapped with nowhere to run, she was ultimately saved when neighbors alerted the police, who arrived just in time. This eerie photo captures 2 construction workers posing with the Twin Towers on the morning of September 11, 2001, just moments before the tragic attacks that would change history forever. In 1919, Boston's North End was devastated when a massive molasses storage tank burst, sending a 25-foot wave of sticky syrup through the streets. The disaster claimed 21 lives, injured 150 people, and destroyed buildings, earning its infamous name, the Great Molasses Flood. At the 2009 funeral of Private Kevin Elliott in Dundee, Scotland, his best friend Barry Delaney honored a heartfelt pact. The two had agreed that if one died in combat, the other would attend the funeral wearing a bright green dress, a touching tribute to their unbreakable bond. This photograph captures 28-year-old Marcy Borders, an employee at the World Trade Center's Bank of America, moments after the South Tower collapsed on September 11th. She was working on the 81st floor of the North Tower. Boarders sought shelter in a nearby office building, her body and clothing heavily dusted from the debris. Despite the chaos, she was able to escape the initial disaster, though her life was profoundly affected by the events of that day. Marie Curie's tomb, housed in the Pantheon in Paris, is lined with 3 centimeters of lead to protect visitors from lingering radiation. Decades after her groundbreaking research on radioactivity, her remains still emit dangerous levels of radiation, a lasting testament to her scientific legacy. Otto Warmbier, an American college student, was arrested in North Korea in 2016 for alleged subversion. In June 2017, he was released in a coma and tragically passed away days later. His family later received $240,000 in compensation from seized North Korean assets. Captured in 1989 by Michael Schwartz, this heartbreaking photograph shows 33-year-old Tom Fox in his final moments, surrounded by his loving family at Sacred Heart Hospital in Eugene, Oregon, as he succumbed to AIDS. The image remains a powerful reminder of the epidemic's devastating impact. In 1999, during the Kosovo War, a photograph captured the anguish of Mustafa Saja, an Albanian man who had been separated from his children. Years later, the Newsweek journalist who initially took the photo revisited Kosovo, traveling to Mitrovica where Mustafa resided. Upon locating him, the journalist asked about his family. To his surprise, Mustafa shared the miraculous news that his wife and children were safe and had been reunited with him. This 1945 photograph captures a shocking moment during the Nuremberg trials, where war criminals were seen laughing at a translation error. Their unsettling reaction contrasts with the gravity of the trial, which sought justice for the horrors of World War II. At the Harold Washington Library Center in Chicago, the dog tags of 58,307 U.S. soldiers who perished in the Vietnam War are displayed as a solemn tribute. Each tag stands as a testament to sacrifice and valor, reminding us of the profound cost of conflict and the enduring legacy of those lost. Captured by photographer Franz Geik in 1941, this striking image shows a Russian prisoner of war defiantly confronting Heinrich Himmler. The rare photograph captures a tense moment between one of history's most notorious figures and a man facing an uncertain fate. During the brutal Battle of Iwo Jima in 1945, a U.S. Marine offered a cigarette to a wounded Japanese soldier buried in the sand. This rare moment of humanity amid one of World War II's bloodiest battles highlights compassion even between enemies. In 1954, Anne Hodges became the only known person in history to be struck by a meteorite. She proudly displayed the large bruise on her side after a 9-pound space rock crashed through her roof in Alabama, leaving her both shocked and famous. A heartbreaking photograph captures Senad Medanovic, the sole survivor of his family, discovering his home in ruins after the Bosnian army recaptured his village from Serb forces. He stands on what is believed to be a mass grave containing the remains of 69 people, including his family. Mike Tyson is seen shaking hands with Dale Hausner, a Phoenix criminal responsible for taking 8 lives. A few days after Tyson met Hausner, who had posed as a sports writer, police arrived at the gym to inform Tyson about Hausner's horrific crimes.